It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
We on a mission and that's bringing y'all the truth. You know the problem, but we get into the root. The devil watching, yeah, he always on pursuit. But Jesus is our rock, so we shall not be moved. We on a winning team, so we can't lose. We say facts, cause we hitting y'all with proof. Started from the bottom, now we standing on the roof. As God as our witness, we gon' make it to the moon. When you want the truth, the world be hiding it. This the real word, we providing it. We got Acee, BK, Truth, Rick Star, and we plan to make a movie like it's Pixar. We came a long way from the plantation. We just tryna save your souls from damnation. So if you down with the message, tune in every week. It will lead you to the message that you seek.
It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word. It's the real word.
Season 8, episode 6. Shout out to everybody that's been watching. Shout out to everybody that's been supporting. Shout out to everybody that's helped us to get this far so far. Shout out to everybody that follow us on Instagram at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. That's at The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Instagram. Check out on Facebook. That's facebook.com/The Real Word 7. The Real Word 7 like Mike Vick on Facebook, or The Real Word Ministries Inc. on Facebook. Check us out on podcasts. That's Apple, Spotify, Soundcloud, and Pandora. You can also catch us on the Brick Network every Tuesday and Thursday at 1 a.m., 12 noon to 4 p.m. I'm here with my co-host. Introduce yourself.
Reagan knows the one and only AI at me on Instagram, A711. If you ain't know 11, you already drunk my water, so it's quiet.
And I'm here with my other co-host. Introduce yourself.
It's Kimmel Hall, your favorite guy in Brooklyn. You know, the BK Hallway's my Instagram. Let's get started.
Making it rapping.
And we got the two new wearing blue. Introduce yourselves.
I'm Pixi Mars on Instagram, TikTok, PIXI.Mars.
Alright.
She's from Mars.
And they call me Qtheboss. You know, QDABOSS 516.
Big boss.
We kept it simple. Qtheboss.
Alright. And you can also catch us on YouTube. YouTube going crazy right now. We going viral. That's The Real Word TV on YouTube. That's one word, The Real Word TV on YouTube. Shout out to Sweps Media Group. Big things coming up in the next few weeks. So tell us a little bit about you guys and what you guys do.
Give the floor to Q.
You the boss. I'm
gonna start off as a barber, and ultimately moved into a lot of different spaces. You know, ultimately buying a barbershop, then moving into owning a nightclub, owning a pharmacy, and purchasing multiple houses. So from Brooklyn to Long Island, I own about 21 houses.
Oh wow!
And my partner and I, we teamed up and we've been doing a lot. But now this is why I'm gonna give it to her.
Okay, so basically, me and Q, we met because across the street from his barbershop, I owned a club, right? So one business owner to business owner, we were rocking ever since. Mad cool. So I sold my restaurant bar, and Q still across the street, but he also is into real estate. I'm a real estate agent as well. Yeah. But we just coming in the barbershop, having talks and stuff, we decided to do a podcast.
Agreed.
Q is on TikTok.
Yeah.
He just made 600,000 followers on TikTok. Congratulations again. That is so big. I'm so proud of him. So people have been begging this man to make his own podcast, right? Because he has a TikTok. Well, I'll let you explain what your TikTok is about. But he basically gives advice and he does a lot of drops on TikTok, and they've been begging for a podcast, and that's why we're here.
So
because we started a podcast.
On TikTok.
No, he's not.
Okay, just had to check.
He's more the serious side.
Oh my God!
He never dropped the move on TikTok. He was so on TikTok.
Respect.
Right.
He went viral though.
That's respect. Oh, the good.
If you does a dance, he might go even more viral. You want to hit a million by next week? Maybe hit a dance, Q. But
hit a mill, we're gonna do a dance.
But one of Q's one of Q's taglines on his TikTok, every time he finishes a video, is so funny that he always goes, "Don't let that go over your head.
Yeah.
Don't let that go over your head." So now we just started a podcast, and the name of it is "Don't Let That Go Over Your Head" podcast.
Oh wow! And this is the perfect place to do it at the Real Word.
Exactly. Right, because we keep it real on that podcast. I mean, it just started, but you know, the viewers, you definitely can follow.
Exclusive.
Don't let
content.
that go over your head podcast.
Yeah.
And today, I guess we'll talk about some of the topics that, you know.
Go over your head. So let's start off because you said you was ready for it. So what are some topics that oftentimes go over people's heads, Mr. Memory Lane?
I'm back in the days.
He's gonna take us back, flashback time.
He said we gotta start in the past.
I just want to pass and bring it
You
up.
know, Canarsie was, you know, what was it? I don't want to use the word. We'll say it was a lighter skin of people, then more Caribbean people started coming in, and you know,
White flight.
yeah, we used to be like what we call like suburb gangster, but it wasn't like, you know, just straight chaos, like just, you know, it's dangerous out here. Now, like that's how I feel now.
Is Brooklyn rap.
Yeah, so you know me, I'm always
Right.
about music. I wanted to know your takes on, you know, how do you think music is influence on the neighborhood?
Well, for me, it's very prominent. You know, I had my stint in music. You know, I actually got an artist signed to a major. He got signed to Republic Records. You know, so I've done everything. They'll tell you I've done everything.
Straight entrepreneur.
Everything, bro. You name it, I've done it. I have plaques,
That's how you
I have
make it.
credits for production on artists, all that. So for me personally, I truly believe that music is very prominent, especially for a mind that's very influential. You know, a lot of the words a lot of these artists are using, they're giving life
Major
in these children. They believe in that this is how they're supposed to live. You have a lot of fake, quote unquote, gangsters portraying the image or acting the way they're really not, because a lot of them haven't found themselves. So a lot of the times I see, I speak about a lot of men who are still thinking like children, who still carry themselves as not a man, you know, who doesn't know. I have men that tell me they have daughters, and I'm like, would you want your daughter to bring home somebody like you? And when you tell a man that, they get very physical. I'm with all that, you know, so I'm not fearful of no man. So it's like, for me, I tell the truth. So I'm like, yo, bro, with that being said, we need to get back to our essence of being men and understand what is a man. You know, we need to tell the truth. You know, for me, I'm very prominent on truth. I don't do the lying. I don't do the capping like the youth, like young guys like to say it. I don't cap.
There's a whole lot of cap.
It's a lot.
capping, man.
No, that's the young guys like to say.
You can bring out the testers. You can bring that up.
No, that's true.
I got one in the car.
Right.
Music now is like, I don't know. I should be making more music myself, but I've been having problems with production for me. So,
Oh, you're an artist?
yeah, I write every day, but I don't have the time to do the production part. I didn't put in the time.
He's a fan.
It's on me. Yeah, that's. I was gonna ask if you had any kids yourself, man.
Yeah, I have 3 children myself.
Oh,
I've been a father since I was 17,
oh,
and I
man.
raised my son myself. So, you know, like for me, I'm
You got a lot of different
advocate about
a lot of experience.
being a father and being a man. I'm strictly for that. Like, unless
I feel like
call
my
it what it
child.
is.
I'm having my first baby right
Congratulations,
now.
congratulations.
She putting me to work mentally. I'm like, I got things I gotta do.
What do you have, you know?
A daughter.
Yeah, you gonna see. You gonna see. I got 2.
You know, we all been telling them. It's each of us one by one. I'm lying.
Yeah.
It's
Is
a lot.
it true that all dogs get daughters? Is it?
I'm guilty. I'm not
Don't
gonna.
let it go over your head.
Don't let that go.
You gonna see what's coming if you act like that.
Get it ready, Yankee. Get it ready. We play no game.
Get right
You gotta tell your truth, right? You gotta tell your truth.
Wow.
I can believe it though. I think it makes you have a little bit of different respect for women when you have a daughter.
Nah, that's
Like,
Some.
then they're not fathers.
Yeah, they fathers.
Any real father would care about that.
Yeah, because they would care about how their daughter's being treated.
Yeah.
Right, and they wouldn't want that karma coming back to haunt the daughter. But some men, they are fathers and stuff. They're fathers and they're good fathers and they're still dogs.
But the Bible speaks on the children being the bearer of their father's sins. So they carry their father's sins. And my children will not carry no bad sins from me.
Oh, I never even knew that scripture.
Yeah. So let's dive deeper into that.
Yeah.
All right.
Pastor.
He about to get deep.
And I'll be honest with you, I did it on purpose. Once I heard the ministry, I said, okay.
No. We're gonna dive deeper into it. I'm gonna look at it from both lenses, right?
Yeah, from both.
The sins of the father shall curse the son, right?
Okay.
So that's something that we all heard. From Abraham begat Isaac, then begat Jacob. They all suffered with the same things. All the way down to New Testament, all the way down to David. One of their sins was women, obviously. Like, the sin of every man, the flesh. For the spirit is willing, but the flesh is weak.
Yes,
Weak. You men are weak.
So
women got a responsibility.
So a dog can be a great father, right? And a dog could be a great mother. Rome was said to be one of the greatest cities of all time, right? And the founders of Rome was raised by a wolf. A domesticated wolf is a dog.
Yeah.
So there we go. History proved that.
Agreed.
But there's many things that my father dealt with that I'm going to have to deal with, that I'm dealing with. One of the things, very simple, stuttering. I thought stuttering the whole time was a deficiency that was passed on. And then I found out later that sometimes it could be a mental thing.
Oh, yeah?
So then when I started public speaking now, I started doing breathing exercises. I started taking my time. I started reading the dictionary and pronouncing the whole entire word. Before I got stuck, I just stopped.
That's kids.
And then later on, I started studying psychology, and then I read up on stuttering, and it was like the misinterpretation of words in one's mind, and then that comes out jumbled in words through one's speech. So it's like if you clear it in your mind, then it could come out clear out your mouth.
So I guess that's why Steve Harvey overcame his stuttering.
Same way I
Steve
did.
Harvey, they said you could never make it on TV or something like that. Was
You grew up with me. They said that about me.
Make a joke about it because we used to be like, "Bro, cod."
You was that bad?
Yeah, but look, we on TV now. But my father, one day, me and my father was arguing, to answer your question, and then me and my father was arguing back and forth, and then I was just like, all right, I don't want to argue back and forth with you. Like, what are we going to do, fight? And then my father was like, you got to respect me. I made you. You didn't make me. And then I went to all my homeboys. I think I even spoke to you about it. And then one of my homeboys, Nolan, he was like, yo, he's kind of right. Like, it don't matter all the things you do. Like, that's still your pops. And if you look at your face, you could look at his face. Anybody could tell that's your pops.
My dad told me that myself.
And so I inherit his sins, but it is what it is now because my sins is already paid for. So it is what it is. If I say I'm not a sinner, I make God out to be a liar.
True. Yeah.
And the only way I could have been saved was by the death of God himself. So it is what it is.
I wasn't raised by my pops in terms of everyday life. You know, he was in Florida, I'm in New York. So, but you know, he used to call me and hit me with that same line. You know, hey, it says honor thy father and thy mother. Hey, son, I'm still your father. You still gotta call me sometimes to check on me.
Right. Yeah.
I'm like, I see you in the summer like usual. Like,
we can even go deep into it. You the second friend that I grew up with that I met his father for the first time at their wedding. Like my friend Baraton knew him since I was 10 years old. I didn't meet his father until he was 30 at his wedding in Belize. I met his father for the first time. His father's name is Barrington too, and I was like, "Oh shit!" I said, "Yo, you know I know your son since the 5th grade. It's the first time I'm meeting you." And then he looked at me, and I was like, "All right, man." And I walked off. I told your pops the same thing, and then his pops came on the show. It went viral twice. Yeah. And then he was like, "Where my buddy at, son?" And I was like, "What are you talking about, buddy, bro? It's a non-profit. What are you talking about?"
Oh, he asked you where his money was?
Yeah.
Oh, and you ran that non-profit line?
My pops. My pops is too much.
Yeah, but your pops would say it all the time. He was a victim of the flesh, a victim of his sins.
Yes,
And
he's
lot of us.
a recovering. Well, no, I mean ex-adulterer.
yeah,
He does sermons on it and everything.
all the time.
See, you know, when you speak to a lot of people, they expect dramatic changes, drastic changes, instant changes.
Right.
You know, everything is a day at a time. And I tell people there's no perfection. It doesn't exist. And in chasing perfection, ultimately going to show you that you'll never be perfect.
Right.
But by taking it a day at a time, ultimately allows you to get to your goal or to the steps you try to make one day at a time, 24 hours a day. 24 hours a day, 24 hours a day. People chase everything with this instant gratification.
I was gonna say we in the era of
everyone
5
Yeah.
minutes I get food warmed up.
Right.
They got no
Popcorn.
patience. Yeah,
Popcorn society.
they got
That's
Talk
no
about that all
patience.
the time.
It is.
Right.
You know,
Patience is number one. They say patience is needed for a king and needed for a queen.
it is. It is.
That's a fact.
They killing the patience in these young children. I say
Yeah.
they're giving them things too quickly, or even just entertainment.
It's social media though.
Yeah,
No,
it's
they have a
just-
false reality, false perception of reality, and they think that they can't fail and they're supposed to just win right out the
Yes, and
gate.
if they
Agreed.
fail,
And
oh
that's
my
why
gosh.
we tell them success is not overnight. You know, it took 9 years for my overnight success, you know?
Agreed.
Sure.
Agreed.
You know what I'm saying? So that's what these kids really have to get through their heads.
You said something about a king, and you said you gotta be patient to be a king. So let's go around the circle. What does it mean to be a king or a queen? Ladies first.
Well, a queen. I can only speak for queens now. No, matter of fact, I can give you a little insight on being a king. No, but to be a
my
queen,
father would say women always think they know better than men.
that's not true over here.
Okay.
But I do respect the king, and I think a queen definitely needs a king, right? A queen has. I think she has certain traits where she has to, she runs the kingdom, she runs the castle, her household, whatever it is. She has certain responsibilities. She's domesticated, but she's also modern day queens running businesses. It's different aspects of her world now. So, but also, I think a good queen definitely is submissive to her king. She knows that there's levels of hierarchy here, and I'm just from that school where I believe, even as me being a business owner, I had a bar we opened it up with me and my fiance opened up a lounge bar together 13 years ago, and even though the paperwork, everything, Mars, did everything, but I still let him. He still stepped out and looked like he was. I didn't care. The total owner. But we knew who was pulling the strings behind the scene. You know what I'm saying? And who's making it happen? It's usually the queen. But everybody needs that balance, and everybody has to play their role.
Agreed.
Right?
Agreed.
Everybody has to play their role. You can expound on that.
What you think, Ace?
As a king, rule number one: you don't take care of your kids, you can't be a king. That's number one. So that's rule number one, and then two. Number two, as a king, you gotta have the influence. That's rare. That's a one-of-a-kind type of thing. So not everybody gonna have that influence where you could gather truth together. So that's number two. And then number three, you got the extra where you could do whatever you want. I'm gonna just keep it short with the three. That's why I didn't know the third one where, you got extra where you can do whatever you want.
Okay.
That's up to you again.
Okay. With the lion around his neck.
The king is the one who's like the face of the family, or even the city, or wherever he is a king. He's like the face, so he has the biggest responsibility and the I guess I wouldn't say everything's on his shoulder because that's what the queen is for, you know. He needs a partner,
right?
Somebody to take it off his shoulders, you know, and just relax him.
Right.
And to me, we had this saying earlier, you know, kings raise kings, you know.
Yeah.
So like he was saying, you gotta raise your children, but you gotta raise your whole village, man. You know,
It's true.
kind of in a sense of like what Jesus doing, walk around, you know, give to everybody.
Plant the seeds.
Everybody, especially if it's your city, you gotta do everything for everybody in your city. You can't be like, oh, that guy, I can't mess with him. If he's in your town, that's just, and you a king, you gotta take care of him.
Right.
So a king is not just, you know, somebody who's just shiny.
Right.
He's the first line, you know, he's the first one they come to for help, you know. You got to be willing to take some stabs.
Yeah.
That's real. Like, so that's what a king is to me.
Don't just sit there, though.
Yeah.
Well, y'all all went into like depth about it, so I'm going to go on a different perspective of it. For me, every woman and every man is a king and a queen. They have a right to be considered a king and a queen.
It's your birthright.
Because we come from, which of course is our Father in the heavens.
Yeah.
So we come from a king. So with that being said, we have to be kings and queens. So I think everyone is. It's just some people don't know to the magnitude of the responsibility of being one, or B, they don't know what it entails. Right. So a lot of people, they've lost their way. You know, because initially from where we come from kings and queens. Let's just call it what it is. But a lot of people don't know the responsibility of, or the magnitude of, I have to lead by example. I have to be consistent. Right. You know, I don't want to tell my children how to be. I'm going to show them how to be. You know, this is what a king does, and vice versa for a queen. So for me, everyone has a...
We need a button.
I want to show them.
I want to show them
how to be.
I want to show them.
You know what they say, talk is cheap.
Yeah, actions is everything.
Right. I think that's a very valid point.
It
People
is.
don't understand that it's their birthright.
It's your birthright.
You are born a king and queen.
You're born a king and queen.
Right, but you know some people,
gotta
their
put in the work.
environments, the role models that they have are terrible.
It's weird because if you
Even
listen,
guilt.
people say we come from, of course, God, which is the king. He's the ruler of all.
Right.
So there's no way as his son, I'm not considered a king.
True.
And there's no way a woman cannot consider his queen.
True.
It's his daughter. I'm his son.
Right.
So we have to naturally be
Heirs to the throne.
heirs to the throne. But it's only right based on the village that you create in your home.
Right.
Are you the king of where you're creating your home? Are you leading by example?
Right.
Which is your offspring, which is your village,
Right.
your children. You know, even like my mother's an advocate for me. She listens to me. I'm her king. She
Right.
listens to me about everything, but I lead by example.
Right.
Also, she got to see my grandmother also. They see me as
Right.
the focal point of the family.
Yeah.
I just may wear a bigger crown than a lot of people in my family.
Somebody gotta be
Whoever leading right should lead.
You gotta lead.
Right.
There's always that one in the family.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's funny because
Matriarchs.
Are you the one?
it's funny because we were speaking about this, and that's why I say time is subjective. You know, because we always chasing tomorrow, and that's a day that'll never come.
Agreed.
Time is everything.
But we was talking about kings right before this, and I said that one quote, like, no king gets to see his son become king.
That's a strong quote.
Because he has to die in order for his son to be crowned king.
King must be ready for that sacrifice.
I remember a few years ago, it's crazy how I met this guy, but I met him for a reason. And he was like, yo, the one thing you don't understand is, like, many are called, but only a few are chosen. Just think about it. Just think about it. He said, out of the millions of sperm, like, one made it. But then out of the billions of people on earth, like, how much people really get to make it? How much people really get to make
The
a
1%
difference?
actually. Yeah.
Like,
When you think about it like that,
not too many. And then even back then when I was listening to Rick Ross, you know, when I was pushing carts, I remember as a kid pushing carts, bro.
Rose.
I was listening to, yeah, exactly. And we made to the club, and first thing I popped Rose, niggas was like, yes! We made it, bro. Like, I remember that. Like, I got that nickname, Ricky Rose. Yeah, I remember it, bro. I remember my first bottle, bro. I remember it like it was yesterday. He was there. You remember, bro?
That was a good spot, man.
Yo, we had a picture.
We
We had the picture, bro.
Wow.
I wish I still had that picture, but
Shot.
oh man. But basically, like Rick Ross said, you measure success by the amount of people that you're able to bless.
Right.
And you said it's like a king feeds his whole town. And the other day I wrote on Instagram, I said, why would I give the church my 10% when I could just create my own 501c3 and then give that 10% to the people?
I was going to talk about the church influence.
And one thing no one can deny, because it's right in front of your face. All you got to do is go to www.therealwordministriesInc.com. You feel me?
Apple Podcast.
Nah, fact. So, and we really ran with the vision, and it had to take people behind us to really believe in the vision, and we was able to do so much, and we are able to do so much, and we still able to do so much. And I feel like that's what it is. Like just the other day, Sanders was able to do the diaper drive. He gave out 3,000 diapers over 300 boxes of diapers and
probably like 10,000 or something like that.
And 3 years ago, him and I, we had the plan to do that, and we did it the first time with about 100 boxes. And then he was like, "Yo, bro, this is nothing. We're gonna go on tour, bro. We're gonna go on tour." And he had Funerals Don't Count, and we went back and forth, and we started The Real Word, because when I started in my basement, he was one of the only two people that actually showed up, and from there, he was one of the first investors into the company, and we built it up. We went our separate ways, but I always promised him, bro, if I ever get far enough, I'm gonna help you with that diaper tour. And the time went by, and different plugs was happening, and then we got the warehouse. You've been there a couple times. So one time we got diapers finally, and we made the call. So
That's what's up, man.
he was able to bless his whole block.
The package.
He was able to bless his whole block the way that he wanted to do it.
Mayor of Crown Heights.
Yeah, so
Still the mayor?
Yeah, he's the man now. I can't say he's not.
He fed the whole hood.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. It's like that came from all of that, and it's still a blessing. And I was talking to Maflo yesterday, and he was like, "It's because you continue to give, it continues to come back." And that's in the go-getter. Like, the more you give, the more you get. And I believe that's what a king is. And I told you guys, like, this is the most uncomfortable seats out of all these seats here. But it's like someone got to sit in the hot seat. Someone got to sit in the middle,
And I was sitting in there before you got in. They told me to get out. And I was sitting in the hard
They said it
seat.
way nicer than that.
I don't know what type of tone she said. That's incorrect. That is false.
We was definitely like, it's too cold. We want you to be in a warm
I
chair.
know.
It was not cold.
It was luxurious.
luxurious.
Yes.
Man. So what you think? Like, what do you want in a king? Let's hear this.
Wait, why do you change your name to Mars? I had that before.
You know what? So it's this goes deep for me
That's
because
the $1 million question.
Let's hear it.
it's the $1 million question.
He got the stones already.
How many stones?
So my name is Miriam.
Yeah.
But people always call me Mary Ann, Miriam,
They always get it wrong,
Mary,
right?
and I really don't like being addressed as Mary. So if you're gonna say my name, please say it correctly. I won't correct you, but it's in my head. I'm like, it's not Mary Ann.
Says a lot about them.
Right. So I say, you know what? Let me just make this easy. I dropped the YAM and I kept the MAR, added the S, and I said Mars because I hate ceilings. So you cannot measure me.
No ceilings, Lil Wayne.
Yeah.
Right. So I can't be measured, and I'm always looking to hit higher peaks and, always reinventing myself. So I'm like, you know what? If you look it up, it's immeasurable.
If you say
Right, Mars,
It's
the
out.
fourth planet from Earth.
So the other part, Pixie. You only
Pixie.
explained that part.
Because, my
She kicked it.
She's like, you know why?
I'm gonna tell you a funny story off camera. Oh man.
Come on now, you know why.
Like, come on, what are you looking at?
I'm very hot.
I couldn't get Mars by itself. You know that was definitely not a name you can get. So I just added. So I love my short hair, so I added the Pixie.
Oh, like Tinkerbell.
Yeah, because she does magic. So it's a double entendre. It's a Pixie haircut and it's like Tinkerbell.
I do practice magic.
You got a good artist. She said, man, she good.
All women practice magic. If y'all didn't know.
Wait.
She knows. You know, there's none of them denying it, right?
Don't deny it.
Magic is magic. What's the big deal?
It's so funny because I said I wanted to know if my name, like, people would catch on. So I asked Q. I was like, Q, you know what Pixie is, right? He said, I'm a barber. You gotta know what a cut. It's a Pixie cut. Like,
it's still right.
Oh yeah, you're right.
That's still right.
That type of
Peach, she was skipping that Pixie part. She was skipping that.
No, people need to know about the Pixie part.
Okay. Mars is for the respect. He's like, I don't want nobody messing up my name.
Right.
I want them to know where I'm going.
And I think it fits me perfectly.
On my name.
This is a real word exclusive.
Mars, y'all need to have a button in here.
Wait, and you still didn't answer our question. Like, you went into Mars.
Because he cut you off.
That's my bad.
Now,
She
because
answered
y'all
it
laughed
for
for so long, but you want to know what I expect in a king.
Yes, we happy we got all the other stuff out the way.
Okay.
Back
Let's
to
get
business.
to the important part. Anybody out there watching? My king needs to be 6 feet. I'm playing. I'm not shallow.
Nah, she's not lying. She's not lying.
I'm not. No.
She said, yeah, you heard what I said.
I'm be honest with you. I used to like tall men only. Okay?
She tall, guys. In real life.
I am. I'm 5'7" and 3/4. I used to love tall men only.
And she like high heels, right? I bet you do.
But if I met somebody
Pixie can't walk around.
But you know what? It clicked to me. I was on I also do acting, so I was on a show of Power, and I saw a ghost. Yeah. And they had me standing by him, and I was towering over him. They wanted to put me in a scene.
If he was a ghost, how did you see him?
No. This was my aha moment, because some women can be, and we had this topic that we talked about Sunday on our podcast. Some women can be so shallow, and they have all of this whole laundry list of expectations of what they expect from a man, and it's so shallow that they go, I expect height. But you don't even know how he treats his mother. You don't even know what his personality is about. You don't know. And your first thing is height. You know,
guys are mad disrespectful.
And then when they get when they get heartbroken, they bring you said your first preference is height.
Exactly. So I'm gonna break your heart, and you don't even care. But no, it's true. So but the qualities I think a woman should really go for is he a trustworthy man? Like, is he gonna be loyal? Is he dating you with a purpose? Is he, giving you, putting his agenda on the table? Is he an honest guy? Just keep it real. You don't have.
Oh, I'm about to get
honest.
spicy.
Honest is, we can use the term loosely, but just keep it. It's honesty is the easiest in the beginning. No. Right? Just, so I just want a man that, my king,
about to get spicy.
My king is definitely a responsible man. You can be 5'4". I'm almost 5'8".
I don't think you pick it though 5'4".
Why? I'm not shallow. I will pick a 5'4".
She ain't dating no 5'4", man.
Am I lying? We just discussed it. I'm just saying, we just discussed it. You can pick somebody
based on a person's experience, a person changes with growth.
This is what I'm saying. So he can be 5'4".
It could. I believe
5'4". Nah, man, I'm not buying that.
Okay, so you're still thinking of on the surface.
No, I'm saying you say for your king. I'm saying for your king, I don't think you pick it 5'4".
That's but the whole point is we're being.
You bring it up.
I think she's just trying to make a point.
I'm just making a point. Even though I'm still going to put it on the table, maybe my husband will be 5'4". You don't know. That's what it is. It's what it is.
Nobody knows.
You get what I'm saying? The whole point is you're not being shallow.
365 days.
All right.
Anyway, so now
our mates don't look like what we expect though.
Huh?
Our mates don't look like what we expect.
Exactly.
The true love don't really look like what we expect.
It doesn't have a face. You don't know.
Because you have to deal with that 365 days.
Right.
Think about it. We chase wants, but you're supposed to be chasing needs.
No.
I don't chase needs.
What's the thing? Look at what's necessary.
Yeah. What do you need? I need someone that's going to respect me. I need someone that's going to be loyal to me. 100%. I need someone that's going to be a great mother. I need someone that's honest. I need someone that's trustworthy.
I need someone with my money.
But hold on, those things. What do they look like?
Right. It has no face.
They don't look like nothing.
Right.
It's just the individual. His people.
It's a personality.
It's a personality. Mm-hmm. Personality don't have a look.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that's what I tell people. Like, we chase looks. Right. And we overly indulge on it. It's like the ice cream flavor we love. And you keep eating the same ice cream and you wonder why you're having the same problems. You're overindulging on ice cream.
And you lactose intolerant.
Yeah. That's a shout out. That's a shout out.
Oh, you coming at me?
One more time.
I can't take no milk.
Don't let that go over your head.
I can't take no milk at all.
Wow.
What?
Don't let that go over your
But the
head.
truth, we do that though. We overly indulge on it.
But you know what? I noticed that people always ask the woman, you know, what do you expect a man to be? What do you? Well, you just addressed everything that you can.
Yeah.
You know, you're expecting a queen, and that's true because you go with, you know, you pick somebody just for looks. She's tall. She looks like a model, whatever it is, right? But she can't. Something happens to you. You on your deathbed. This is your wife. She can't even. She'll give all your money away. She won't even take care of your kids. She'll go buy 50 bags.
Yeah.
Like, what are we doing here?
What's that TV show they got now on Netflix? Something like Unplug or something where you could upload or something like that. They have some show called Upload where people, if you're about to die, you can upload yourself to a virtual world and live forever.
Oh.
So he had this girl.
I think I've seen that.
Yeah,
that.
He had this at the time it was his girlfriend, you know, and he had got into a car accident. Crazy. I don't want to spoil the I guess some people will find out spoilers. But pretty much in the show, like, he passed and, you know, his shorty ended up in charge of everything. Oh man, she was not
disaster.
He was like, "Can I get some new clothes?" She was like, "Nah, what you need new clothes for?" She had all this bread and she was like, "Nah, you ain't going fly."
Exactly.
You had a rebuttal for something she said earlier. Do you remember the thought you lost?
He said it was about to get spicy.
Yeah, that's what you said.
That's what he said.
Because, you know, this is questions that may bother some women, but and it's funny.
That's a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Remember. Go to disclaimer. That means put your gun away. That's a nice way of saying put your gun away.
But we just don't.
I'm not asking for me, it's for Frank.
I'm a tax thing.
And we just don't want you to miss the message.
I'm curious to the message. Maybe what you got to say?
Well, you know, in the Bible, I'm going to bring up the Bible first, you know.
But you see, I'm starting with the beginning.
Here we
go.
But,
you know, I feel like in the Bible, we know Adam and we know Eve. You know, man is in charge of the land that God put out there. You know, he's in charge of everything out there for him. And, you know, Eve is the helper. You know, he can't do it without her.
Right.
So later on, you know, I always wanted to know, you know, every woman's perspective on how do you feel about a man having, you know, two queens.
That's what you want, Craig?
Don't let it get over your head. Come on.
His hands are open to receive the blessing.
We can talk about everything. We get to this
far. One of my videos that actually went viral. It's in the millions. I got maybe I think 4 million or something like that. 4 million views on the video. The video actually talks about why men are broke today. You know, and most men are broke. And being honest, is because they believe in polygamy and they can't afford it.
They're not ready.
You know, even if we look at back in Africa, we go to Africa days. There was polygamy, and there still is polygamy. But here's the issue: those men could afford it. You can't be a $50,000 earner talking about you want 2 and 3 women. Somebody's getting negated financially, no matter what. It's impossible.
50K nowadays.
Okay, let's see. But even on 100K, truth be told, we're talking about New York. You know, I have a house. You said Canarsie. I have a house on Avenue L that I own, and I'm renting mine's out $3,000 per unit.
Yeah.
So $3,000 on a $100,000 salary plus a car, plus kids, plus school loans, plus car, everything, gas. It's not a lot. Vacations.
Not enough.
It's not a lot. You know.
You low key got sell crack on the side.
Right. If you want to
you gotta find a life partner. You gotta build together. You know, a lot of men. It's simple logic. Look at our grandfathers. Our grandfathers were married, and they owned homes. Then you look at our dads. Same situation, same scenario. My generation, a little less. That's why you see a lot of less guys my age owning homes. And now you seem like you're a little younger than me.
Yeah.
What's your age around?
I'm 25, bro. You know.
So your age is even worse. It's only getting worse because a lot of these guys tend to believe that the multiple women is the move, and it is really not.
It's one
you're supposed to be building with one. You know what I'm saying?
But they have multiple women, but they don't know about
cash
each
in the
other.
sex school.
But they don't know about each other.
You know,
that's the only difference with
there's no honesty.
Right. We're talking about having two queens and everybody's on the same page. I believe like a lot, you know, the Muslim religion does that sometimes, right? I believe, listen, as long as if that's what you believe in, have two queens, they better be taken care of equally. You want to have 4?
But they have to be willing to accept it. You can't have two queens and they don't know they both exist.
Right, that's what I said. What's going on nowadays?
That's cheating.
That's scandalous.
You know, that's not fair.
Right.
I feel like give her the option. Like, yo, this is what it is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, because realistically, I mean, a lot of dudes, they be like, I'm players. I'm like, you're not a player. You're a liar.
Right.
That's right. Not for me. I would say I always keep it real.
If you tell them the truth and this is what it is, and they accept it, that's a plus.
They're talking to somebody right now.
Like,
this is for you, Tanya.
This is on camera. I always keep shots.
He opened up a can of worms.
No, it's true though. But
we live in a weird world.
No, I
it's
actually,
only gonna get weirder.
It is, but I actually had my ex-boyfriend. He was African. He's African, and his father had 2 wives, and
he
in
got
Africa,
the bag though.
Yeah, they had 2 houses. He spent 3 days and 4 days, 3 days and 4 days. He alternated, and I thought it was just so.
It works for him.
Right.
But they accepted it.
Yeah,
It's what
he
it
had 20
is.
kids too.
But it works for him.
You see what that means? What 3, what 4? So
No. One woman, they alternate. One is 3 days this week. The other one is 3 days next week. 3, 4, 3,
Yeah,
whatever.
switching between them.
Well, anyway.
Who gets 4 this
But look what you
week?
said. He got 2 different homes.
Yeah.
He's a different breed.
Yeah.
One dude will have half a room talking about he get girls. Or have a room at his mother's house talking about he getting girls.
Yo,
like, what are you talking about?
One thing.
You need to get your life together.
For real.
Listen.
One thing that
especially if you and your mom crib.
One
No
thing.
shots.
One thing that I realize in my life is that love comes in cycles sometimes, and sometimes the love recycles itself in your life. Like, say for example, a girl that you dealt with at one time, then you might live your whole entire life, and then things happen, and then it comes back around.
We're talking exes.
Yeah, or like not even exes, like girls you just dealt with, or girls that you know, or girls that you never dealt with before. Then later on in life, you deal with them. Like, there was a girl that I went to elementary school with. Like elementary school, junior high, and high school
all
with.
the elementary people are gonna be looking at her.
She went out of state, went to a different school, like then went to another school to another state, came back around, like all the way back around, and then one day me and her was friends for all those years. And then there's different people like too, where it's like you go in different cycles and they always come back around, and when they come back around, sometimes like that feeling never went away, and it's like you caught up in that dream, and then it's like, all right, now I know why I stopped dealing with you. But I feel like that's the way that some people, I mean, for me, like that would be the only way that it would work for me, where I have multiple women, but it can't be like they're all depending on me, because then that gets stressful. Like, you feel me? Like,
that's what you gotta have what it needs to, feed everybody.
Yeah, like
take care of everybody.
Even if you have the money financially, like that's a lot of different personalities that you're dealing with and that you're juggling. Like,
hey, if you're a king, man, you gotta do it.
Yeah, but you just stressing yourself out. King Solomon, as wise as he was, It was a woman that led to his madness.
Yes, that story is harsh.
Well, and he had all these women.
Back later.
Out of all the women, one caught him slipping.
And which one is it?
All it takes is one.
All it took was one.
They only take that one missile.
Don't be greedy.
Because he had women for days.
Nah. If we go by the years, 3 years. One every day.
Some multiple a day. Like, he had nothing else to do. He was rich already. He had the bag.
Yeah. That's why I said the third one. You get to
See,
the third one.
in that story, he stopped following God. You know, he started just being tempted by women. That's why I say women have a responsibility too.
He started following her God.
Yeah.
And if they put it in perspective and speak in the old language, like...
Because even Adam, you know, Adam had his God, but, you know, Eve got tricked by the serpent, and Adam listened to Eve, so he was following the serpent. He changed gods because of that.
In both instances, they put it on them and they got finessed.
Thank you.
But what could Adam do? That's his first time getting that. That's the only thing in the world that got that. So it's like, damn, what am I gonna do?
I can't get this up. You know, it's just an apple. It's just an apple.
He looked at God like, yo, you set me out. Like you left me in the forest with a butt naked. Like come on.
All the animals was doing.
Was that crazy?
That's funny.
She was like, eat it. It's gonna give you knowledge. But she finessed him. He gave her knowledge.
Y'all so silly. This guy finds that so funny.
There's multiple layers to that.
Yeah, real deep.
Triple.
Don't even ask me how.
Just know. You know.
Just got thrown under the bus like 5 times. But let me ask you, when we get into that point, if you guys want to change the subject, when we get to the point, if a man has money, it's okay for him to live like that? It's just like...
Yeah, because women make it okay. Women make it okay. Look at Dan Brazilian, perfect example. He's rich. His dad left him the bag. You always see him like 4 or 5 naked women. And niggas like, well, why? Is him because I got money. Trump, he went divorce. And no one cares why. He has money. He got old. He bought himself a wife.
Exactly. Kanye's a good example. He just got divorced.
He bought him one that looked just like his old one.
He could do whatever he wants.
And he gave them the same parts. Like, okay.
I know.
And he's a creator. He built her like how he likes. Like, okay, this is what I like.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's why I said the third one. The king get to do whatever he wants.
That's why I ended. That's your third rule.
That's why I ended with you with 3.
Yeah, I weren't listening.
The third one was the banger.
Yeah, we're listening earlier.
Really do? You throw your little finger water.
No, I'm just saying, man. You know, king got to do whatever you want, bro. Like, come on now. That's the reason why you the king.
You get king when you got good intentions.
Yo, this was a fun episode though. Like I like it like that. I seen your guys' podcast and you guys touch on a lot of different subjects, particularly like the male and female dynamics that's going on right now, especially when it comes to well, you guys talk about it all the time about how the new age women are more so about the money, like after the bag, and
it's scaring some of these guys away. You know, these young boys away. They don't want to.
Not only that, like a lot of them is taking certain chances for the and it's a cycle now, and
it's a high risk. Or you gonna get a big reward though.
Mm-hmm.
So what's your question?
It was a question.
My question is like overall, right? Because we have everybody sitting at the table. Like they had different aspects to it. Like they had different things. Like I heard you say something about a guy should not go over his budget just because he want to do certain things. But if it's within his budget, then that's what he does. And you said that. You were saying something about every man is different depending on what it is that they bring to a relationship, and both you guys were saying basically like they have to be willing to work together to build something with longevity. Like, they don't have to be like, okay, this person have this, that's why I'm with them, or this person don't have this, that's why I'm not with them. But then you guys were talking about the newer generation, how things are.
How it starts is hard for them, in my perspective, from what I'm hearing. They, you know, in terms of, it's harder to trust each other. Women are kind of on the entrepreneurness, and I feel like women now are, I don't need no man. So when a man comes up to them, they're just looking at them like, you know, I hate to say it, like a piece of meat, you know. Like, what you giving me? What you giving me? But it's more so supposed to be what we can give each other. They just take in what they want and go. And same thing with the guy. The guy is like, well, what you giving me? What you giving me? I just want to take what I want and go. Nobody's trying to build. And I got this conspiracy that, you know, America is not really trying to push for
family.
Yeah, they are. Babies are us. All these places are, you know, and even them, you know, I'm not coming for them, but you know how my dad is. But in terms of the LGBT, all those people, you know, that team, in terms of, you know, fighting for their right to be whoever they want to be. But in terms of the overall message, it is not pro-life. You can't keep thinking that you're going to artificial a baby. Because you still need, I think masculine and feminine energy is like, you know, you need that to make a perfect coin.
Q, you always talk about that.
Well, for me personally, you know, I don't know where we going with the question.
Right.
I'm being honest with you. It's like broad. It's like very broad.
More so, I left it like that on purpose. I threw it in the circle and went to see what you guys are saying.
I gotta ask about in that scenario, the problem that I had with what he's talking about, it was, you know, how do they meet each other, you know, nowadays, the younger generation?
Well, in a lot of cases, I feel like a lot of young people, they don't trust the process. They rush the process, for one. You meet a guy, 3 months later, they talk about they're in love. What is love in 90 days? You know, so with that being said, it takes time to know what love actually looks like. It has to be battle tested. I can't call you a friend unless we've been through something. At the end of the day, I can look like your friend if you have something to benefit me. So therefore, of course, I'm standing next to you. Of course, I look like I have your best interests. But when he loses or he falls, then you see what that person is. So what I'm getting is slow down. You know, learn each other. See who she really is. See who he really is. But nowadays, it's the opposite. It's like, I want what I want when I want what I want when I want what I want. And that's just what it is.
Somebody else, I'll swipe left.
Listen,
Right. But it is, I know, it seems like, I think my take on it, a lot of guys just automatically put blankets over it, and they're thinking that the modern day woman just wants to see what a man can do for her and what how deep his pockets is, and wants to go, you know, to these sophisticated restaurants and expensive restaurants.
Why?
I think it's social media.
But it's also his presentation. He presents that to her. That's woman true. Expects what he presents.
Yeah.
If he presents that he has it all together, she expects him to significantly show. Right. Because you showed up to the game like you the man.
Right.
So show me what you got.
Show and tell.
Because I'm going to be honest with you, she only know your pockets based on the way you express them.
So, but the way it's, like let's say what you just said 2 minutes ago, it's almost like your take is different. Your take is kind of like blaming the feet, like these women are just expecting too much. But you know what? There's two sides to every coin.
Yeah.
Right? So some of them do that because of this behavior. That men are so busy flexing
on
the gram, and men a lot of men do that.
Trip.
You know?
Fly me out.
And a lot, right. And a lot of women.
They know who to play that with.
Right.
Yeah.
But they have their own bag nowadays, so a lot of the times they're not even expecting that.
I mean, look at it for one example. Every holiday, right, when they sell, you ain't gonna miss those deals, right?
Right.
What you think?
Taking advantage?
What you think of that?
Of course you are.
What you think about that, Ace?
Wait, what about what?
About
women in, you know, you got
okay,
you got your feelings.
That women expect you to spend based on what you're showing that you have.
I'm already married.
To test your pockets.
I mean, for me, like, I know how to balance that out, so.
Oh, you're not spilling no secrets. That's what he said.
Yeah, for me, like, for me though, you know, me back in the days and all that, like, Man, I know how to handle that, man. And
everybody doesn't though.
You know, I'm gonna just keep it this one quote. Just because we in a new time don't mean the past can't be in the present too.
Exactly.
So I'm gonna just leave it like that. I ain't gonna get deep into context.
He's like, I don't want to spit my bag for y'all.
No, it's true. People can,
people watching me. I will watching me. So
To me, I think it's 50-50.
It is what it is because they don't know.
Because you could like nice things for yourself, and you like nice things for yourself, and you present yourself a certain type of way. Like I was saying, for the last 10 years, I like living and dressing a certain way. That's just me. That's just what I like for myself. But then other people could perceive it different based on their perception of myself. But I don't. I'm not
doing this for you.
Yeah, I don't owe them an explanation. Like the other day at my job, this girl was saying, people say you bougie. I said, bougie how? I say good morning and I say good night to everybody. She's like, no, but you don't stop and talk to them and have conversation. I said, conversation about what? She's like, what you mean? And I was like, there's not much for me to say to them. Plus I have a job to do. And I said, I didn't work that hard to get upstairs just to sit down there and talk to you about minuscule things, wasting time. And then she was like, oh, you probably don't have that many friends, right? I said, at this age, I don't need a lot of people around me to validate who I am. I should know who I am by now.
She wanted to talk to you, man.
She probably did, but I curved it. So I say that to say this, right? Last summer, we seen it for ourselves multiple times, because there was a lot of people coming in and out. And based on their perception of how they seen things are, either online or in person, is whatever, is based on what they were. And different people had different perspectives,
When you pulled up in the ride.
Let's leave that part alone. So, I feel men and women have to be honest with each other. When you first get into a situation, alright, this is what I have, and this is what you have. Let's see what we have together. Because at the end of the year, you gotta file taxes together anyway, and that's what everybody gonna file.
Politics as usual.
Yeah, politics as usual.
Politics always gonna play.
So it's you playing all these back and forth games, and it's the people that's using you, of course, you're gonna use them. And their reasons, if they can't use you, then you're useless. So it's everybody's a tool in this. Yeah.
But today's society, just simple logic is a lot of people are insecure. Simply, a lot of people are very insecure.
That's true.
The financial flex is a very insecure man. A degree or educational flex is an insecure person also. Because if you stand confident with who you are, it doesn't matter. I can get who I want, when I want, how I want, without having to tell my financial status. She'll tell you, when I represent myself, I tell people I'm a barber. And as soon as I tell them I'm a barber, they automatically go to, but I'm also a multi-millionaire. And then they be like, oh, the perspective change. But I always tell people I'm a barber because I like you to believe my educational level is low. Or I haven't done anything significant with my life.
You must know that quote.
You don't want them to judge you.
Yeah, I want them to think what they want, because once you show me your hand, I read it for what it is.
You want to see how they
show me your hand.
No, you don't. Yeah, and you don't want them to
what's that
judge
quote?
you based on
pull
your
up with a hoopty. Pick up in a hoopty. I'm gonna be honest with you, money a little tight this week. We're gonna go to a lower end restaurant. You could afford the bigger restaurant, but again, it's you who presented this. I can pay for the big vacations. I can pay for the trips. I can pay. It's you.
It like that.
So now what she expects? If you
when
bagged
she
her,
likes you just for
you
your
didn't
money.
bag her. Your car bagged her. You didn't bag her. The bags you was carrying out the store bagged her. It's just what it is. What you're wearing is
how you present yourself.
Yeah. So it's who do you blame? I don't blame a woman for wanting better things. If you're presenting, you can give it to her. I don't blame them. I'm just being honest.
Tying it to what she
brought
it to my head with the social media thing. How do you do it with the social media? Because your social media is supposed to flex in a sense. You're supposed to show the highlights of your life, and nowadays they meeting on social media, so it's kind of like oh, look at all the things he's doing. I want to do these things with him. Or even vice versa, even with the girls, because some guys is gold digging too.
Yeah.
They looking for sugar mamas.
It's a whole lot of
especially during the winter time for girls that have a project apartment.
They want to stay at somebody else's crib. They don't want to stay at mama crib.
Because they got that good heat in the project.
It's not just women being gold diggers now.
I mean, that's
men are looking for come ups.
Yeah, but
and with social media, you kind of gotta show your hand.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Only thing I don't, when we say that the women want the cars, the clothes, I think it's more women that willing to accept men that don't got nothing.
Right.
I'm being
That's
honest.
why I said people put a blanket on it.
Yes, they go after. You're talking about the shallow women. You're talking about the women that who into getting the quote unquote BBLs.
Daddies.
Those women, they go hard on social media. But they generalize those women with the woman that works at Target, the woman that works at a bank, the woman that doesn't care about social media. They generalize those women. But those are the women we don't go after. They go after the woman that's twerking. We go after the women
Wait.
Not say all of us, but a lot of us.
The women that work regular 9 to 5s again, they back blown out too, brother.
Yeah, but
okay, let's go with this logic. Let's go with this logic.
The man that do the 5 to 9.
If you have a child, but if you have a child, he's born with a penis. He's a male, right?
Why you think you always
come
home and see?
No. If a child is born with a penis, he's a male. If a girl is born with a vagina, she's a girl. Or a female. See, that problem is we put that title female, we put man and woman on people that aren't men and people that aren't women. Like when I be listening to like, oh, he don't pay bills, my man don't pay bills. That's not a man. First off, your boy don't pay bills. Your boy don't pay bills. Oh, my girl don't want to help me with nothing. That's your little girl. That's why you dating a girl. You know, find a woman. Women and men are two different, that's an earned title. People throw that title around too free because of age. I met grown men who act like little boys. I met grown women who act like little girls. So I'm like, I don't give you that title because it's earned. You have to earn the title of saying I'm a man. You have to earn the title of saying I'm a woman. Just because if a girl run around and sleep with Tom, Dick, and Harry, she's not a woman. She's a little girl. She's a little girl. And vice versa for a man. He's taking advantage of women. That's a little boy. So I'm like, don't compare me to him because I'm not into that. I'm a man. So no way would I want my daughter to bring home a boy and tell me he's a man because he makes money only. That'll make him a man. Your mother don't even respect you. Come on, your mother, she can take you back. She would. She wouldn't want you. She'd be like, no. Some of these guys who say they men, but like, yo, let me sit your mother down and have a conversation with a dude mother. Is your mother proud of you? She can be like, no. Can't stand what I created.
Nope.
Some people like playground games.
You know.
So, closing thoughts?
Everything in life comes with a price. You know.
So we're gonna stop putting these blankets on. All women just want this. Because like I was telling him, the bigger ratio is 10 women or whatever the number is, 8 to 10 women to every man. And a lot of these women are not even being targeted. They're not even on a radar of being courted, being dated. They're missing out.
Yes.
You know, because a lot of men are just going for the baddies and the pretty women. Just like the women, just like some women were shallow about tall guys or something like that, or guys with money. A lot of men are just, y'all like beauty, right? So there's plenty of women. Right? There's plenty of women out there that have, good jobs and go home every day by themselves. Yes. They have good jobs. They're domesticated.
And all they want is a man that helps.
I gotta confess.
And all they want is help.
And all they want is a man, a working man. You do not have to be.
All they want is not a man. All they want is a working rose.
You know what? I can't.
See, the men are confused. The women are smiling.
A lot of women will just take a man that's just, he doesn't even have to have the, the big cars or whatever. She just wants a man that goes to work, comes home and respects her and is loyal to her. And that she can have a family with, but a lot of these women are going into their 40s, not even meeting these guys yet, so they're not even having kids nowadays, reproducing.
That's a problem.
Yeah. Why you think men
lack of family?
Why you think men want to get money for?
Oh, y'all making it
long. The men. Me personally, I grew up in the hood, and for me, getting money wasn't for the women.
Nah, for me.
No, me getting money was to financially put my family in a better position. Me getting money was to be able to take care of my kids. That was my goal. My goal was to be able to secure my family, and not only just secure my family, it was about me putting myself in position to do the things I want to do with my life. Yes. The women come with that. I get chased more because I don't chase. I'm just being honest. You know, my girl, she
don't let that go over your head.
I get chased more because I don't chase. I don't see chasing women as a sport. I don't see chasing women as a thing. I chase the bag. Right. Like, that's just what it is.
You know who run the world.
No, but I'm telling you, a lot of those guys who invested in chasing girls, when they get older,
understand the bag,
they're going to see.
You understand, boy.
They're going to see. They made poor choices. I mean, you made a lot of poor choices. There's a lot of guys that's never going to reach their kingdom.
Yeah, a lot of
never going to reach their kingdom.
A lot of guys say they understand back, but they don't.
I agree. You know, I sit back and I evaluate both of them. I see, look, again, and the reason why I'm harder on men, and I'm being honest, is because the man is the head, and that's in the Bible.
That's why they say.
And with the head, if I walk into your store right now, and I expect shopping cart to be there, I'm not yelling at the cashier. I'm going to who runs this, who owns the store. So if the man is the head, they have to be held responsible for leading. Again, a woman is not going to submit to a man that doesn't give her a reason to submit. No way. You can't be a bum talking about submit to me. Ain't no way. You can't be a guy that's not consistent and talk about submit to me. No, why would I want my daughter to submit to a dude that's not about his what he say? He's not consistent. Yeah. He doesn't even lead himself accordingly. All he care about is rolling up all day. Pockets on E.
Right.
No.
Taking her call.
Come on, man. We talking truth.
You can't be taking a woman.
But when you say this in certain settings, a lot of men get defensive when I say this.
Yeah.
They get mad. They be like, yo. I'm like, but bro.
That's why they say
if you hit their lifestyle.
Hit dogs will holler.
Tighten up. Might tighten up. You can't be mad at life when you're the one making the poor decisions. Again, as a leader, we have to give a reason to lead. If you're my best shooter on the team, right? Why am I passing the ball to him? And that's what a woman will see. A woman will see naturally, like, he leads good. A woman wants to find a man to submit to. A real woman, she does.
She really does.
She does.
Yep.
It's her natural
whether she's an alpha or not.
Yes. She wants to, but she needs to feel confident that he's going to lead me accordingly.
But
if you don't feel like she needs to, man, I ain't never had a problem with submission from a woman. Ever.
Right.
My girl right there, she'll tell you. Do I have problems with you submitting? Ever.
Right.
Ever. Never had that problem in my life.
At the same time.
But it's each his own. It's like
giving
them a reason.
You gotta play your part.
We think because we give good sex, that get played out. That get played out. A woman, I'm gonna tell you something. Once a woman become a woman, she would take a guy that make less money, and a guy that doesn't give her great sex, for a guy that gives her better security, by far.
Yeah.
And never cheat on him. See, we compare the women. We talk about women. There are tons of women out there who don't want what we saying right now. These is little girls. These are girls that's been led wrong, astray. They don't know what they're doing. And then when they come into womanhood, they realize, wait, I need someone that's consistent. I need someone that's going to come home and help me with these bills. I need someone that can provide. I need someone that's honest. I need someone I can trust. There's tons of women out there like that, bro. They have homes, and I sell real estate like crazy. And there are tons of women buying homes alone.
Yep.
Alone.
Yeah, and they just want that partner.
Yes, they just want somebody that's gonna come in and not take it. I have my own home. She have her own home. She owned her own house before I met her.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? She just wants somebody that's gonna respect her and not try to come live up in my house and take advantage of me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Taking the bigger piece of chicken. And you ain't even pay for the chicken. You know?
It's true.
But it's just what it is. We gotta be more real. And men gotta have these conversations. We gotta stand up. You know, we gotta lead our families, bro. And there's not enough men compared to the women. So we do have to be more honest with ourselves.
If she can bring me some chicken, I don't mind.
Listen, you'll be surprised. You do the right thing, they be wanting to do stuff.
If you could bring some chicken to the table, we could double, triple that.
That's it.
I believe it at least double of that. If you want double, it ain't worth it.
You want you a hustler woman that know how to make nothing turn into something?
I mean, I was able to do it.
Yeah.
Zero Enterprises, right?
I mean, that's why I call my company Zero Enterprise. So like, I don't look. If you can't double, then basically I do that whole part, and you take care of all the kids, and basically you do all the housework. Like if you could do all that, the whole housework, I do that. But you got to be able to do all that though.
Yeah.
If you're not able to do that, nah.
Right. Everybody has to play a role, and she has to know how
if
to match you.
Yeah, so if I'm doing the whole get the bag, then basically I get the bag, then I make the situation better. But you got to be able to
hold down a household.
Exactly. You got to, like, I hold one part down, then you hold that part down.
Yeah.
But you ain't going to tell me, yo, hold everything down.
Right.
You know the sexiest relationship in life is? Two people that don't need each other. Two people that want each other.
Right.
Sexy. That is the sexiest relationship anybody can be in.
I mean, that's true.
Truthfully, if you pay for all the bills, there will come with a little arrogance, bro. It's impossible not to.
I don't mind a little arrogance.
I'm gonna give it a little bit. He's gonna give it. You're gonna give it. But again, a person shouldn't be told.
We're not perfect.
But that's why I would rather somebody that don't need me, want me, don't need me.
Yeah, that's what I rather.
Right. So we look. I remember one time she's like, "I don't need you." I said, "That's why I'm with you."
Exactly.
That was a good one.
I don't need you. Look, top of her lungs. I don't need you. That's why I'm with you.
like, come on now.
I'm like,
I don't need you.
So
I want you. It's a difference.
Big difference.
It's a big difference.
Big difference.
All right, guys.
There's a whole big difference there.
Y'all say closing thoughts like 15 minutes. Everybody like doing Airbnb, they just kept talking. I'm just sitting here like, yo, I don't want to be rude. Let me not interrupt. Let everybody finish, you know.
You came in here.
I say my closing thoughts, man.
Yeah, go ahead.
When they do.
Nah, but I wanted to admit a sin, you know, in terms of when I was growing up and we was partying and everything. You know.
You said
it's important to the portrayal of, you know, flexing. You know, she was talking about how, you know, a woman could want a guy who don't have nothing, and you know, a lot of young boys have. I've been through it in my situation where, you know, in that young time, you know, we went to the party 3 a.m. She wants to go home, and it's like, I'm like, where's your man? She's like, oh, he's not coming to get me. I'm like, he gonna let you come home, you know, go home at this time of the night? I will never let my queen. I would never, like, you know, I'm driving you home. It's just, and you know, from that scenario, I say we create our own demons. So for the young kids out there, the young kings, you know, young queens, you know, be careful of everything you do because it will come back to bite you.
Exactly.
Yeah, because now you have a daughter.
And if you can't,
I mean, even before, you know, getting married, in my back of my mind, I'm like, I know a woman that had a man, and you know, somebody flexed and got her, and that was me. So I'm like, it could happen to me.
Yeah.
So, you know.
Well, hopefully it won't at this time when you're married.
Oh, no. She made me feel secure, you know. That's why the ring even got there.
That's good. That's good.
Congratulations again. Because it says a man that finds a wife finds a good thing.
Yeah.
That's what it says.
I feel like I found my treasure, you know.
Closing thoughts, or you?
Well, I'm going to just speak about the Bible. Let's stop picking and choosing what works for our lives and try to live it to its entirety as best as we can. You know, and being consistent with our character. Staying sound with who we are, but also understanding that we're humanly flawed because, again, we're humans, and knowing that at the end of the day that God sees all, whether it's in the dark or it's in the light. He sees all, and we have to understand that at the end of the day, love on our sisters and love on our brothers and stop the battle of the sexes, because at the end of the day, a man is not put on earth to go against a woman, and a woman is not put on earth to go against a man. And everything I said, don't let that go over your head.
Hey! I don't think they're gonna forget. I don't think they're gonna forget that the title of our podcast, because I think we said that tagline about 20 times.
Also, follow me on Instagram.
Every time you heard it.
Follow me on Instagram at Qtheboss516, all social media platforms. QDABOSS 516.
And also follow Don't Let That Go Over Your Head Pod on Instagram.
Closing thoughts?
Closing thoughts. Everybody should just be better people. Work to be the best version of you every single day. Know that when you wake up, you have another chance to be the best version of you. Right? Don't even, you know, don't live with regrets. Just keep pushing forward every single day.
Amen. We thank you for joining us today on The Real Word. My closing thought is, it's always powerful to bring a lot of different minds and perspectives together in a cipher. And I think that's what this platform provides us with, the different perspectives. And I hope you guys receive something from this conversation. I know I have. And I thank all my guests. I thank my co-hosts for being here with me. I thank everybody. I thank everybody for watching us. Check us out on www.therealwordministriesinc.org. That's the real therealwordministriesinc.org. Continue to support if you want to donate. That's $therealwordinc on Cashapp, the $therealwordinc on Cashapp. You can also donate at the PayPal Giving Fund at...
Yeah,
keep distracted.
It's so simple.
Your little TV right there.
Close out with a prayer, please, if you don't mind.
Dear Heavenly Father, I hope these words touch someone's ears, someone who needs to hear this tonight. I pray that, we go out better than we came in and allow you to keep guiding us. And we continue to receive you and let you lead our lives. In Jesus' name we pray.
Amen.
Amen, amen. So thank you guys for watching. Good night and God bless.
Thank you.
It's the real word. It's the real